How to curve a soccer ball. So sometimes when you're looking to make a pass or cross, a complete vertical trajectory of the ball just isn't going to cut it. Maybe the opposition's back line is too high, you're too wide, or maybe the chance you create can be made even better by adding curve to your pass or cross, or maybe making the placement of your shot a lot more precise, keeping the ball out of reach of the goalkeeper and giving you a better chance of scoring. But what is curve? Well, curve put simply is when you kick the ball in a way that means that rather than the ball moving completely vertically in a straight line, the movement of the ball instead resembles more of a bend, which is exactly what curve is. Now, the most common way of curving a football is with the instep of your boot, but you can also use the outstep as well, but I'll come on to that later on in the video as it is a harder skill to develop. So let's first look at how to curve the ball with your instep. Before you strike the ball, you want to make sure that your body positioning is correct. Make sure that your standing foot is planted close enough to the ball that you don't have to overstretch in order to connect with the ball, but not too close that the power you can generate is inhibited. It's really just personal preference and something you'll figure out as you get more practice. You then want to contact the ball with the area of your foot right before your big toe, around the arch on your instep where the hard bone is known as your metatarsal. Imagine there's a line around the middle of the ball. You want to make contact with the ball just under that line, which will give the ball an upward curving movement. If you connect above the middle of the ball, you won't get any height on your shot or cross, which unless you're going for a ground pass probably isn't what you want. As you connect with the ball, you want to lock your ankle and point your toes upwards, which will give you a greater connection with the ball, creating more bend. But it's not just about how you connect with the ball, it's also about your follow through, as this will determine how much power and height you're able to generate with your pass, cross or shot. As you connect with the ball, you need to swing your hip around in a sweeping circular motion to create the spin. If you also lean your torso a little bit over the ball as you shoot, this should stop you getting too much height on the ball, as if you lean back too far, whilst also kicking slightly under the middle of the ball, there's a good chance that you may gain too much height and overhit the ball. If we look at one of the best players in the Premier League when it comes to these sorts of curved passes or crosses, we can see the benefits of using this type of pass correctly. So here we see Trent Alexander-Arnold receives a ball on the right flank in his usual right back position, and you can see ahead of him Mo Salah, who's taken up a centre forward position, is going to look to make a run in behind the opposition's back line. Now, the reason why Trent Alexander-Arnold wants to put some curl on this long pass, because if he was to hit a clean vertical pass, he'll have to put enough height on the ball to get the ball over the centre back who is running back with Mo Salah. If he were to put too much on the pass, the ball would simply run away from Salah and straight to the keeper. But by using the curling technique, Trent Alexander-Arnold is able to essentially bend the ball around the centre back and not only putting it into the path of Salah to control and potentially have a one-on-one, but with the bend on the ball will be going back across the box rather than straight to the keeper. Also, by using the curling technique from this position, it will also slow down the actual pace of the ball, giving Salah a better opportunity to reach and control the pass. But let's now look at another example of curling the ball, but this time from a position closer to goal. Here we see as Bernardo Silva lays the ball back to Kevin De Bruyne, a lot closer to the box than Alexander-Arnold was from his crossing position, meaning that the crossing behind the back line has to be a lot more horizontal, which requires Kevin De Bruyne to put a lot more curl on the ball, but because it's over a shorter distance, he doesn't need as much power. However, the real issue for Kevin De Bruyne in this position is that the gap between the opposition's centre-back and goalkeeper is very small, and so De Bruyne has to be very precise with his cross, looking to pick out either Sergio Aguero in the middle of the box or Raheem Sterling who's attacking the back post. And De Bruyne doesn't have to generate as much power from his hips, almost clipping the ball with the instep of his foot, and because he's hit the ball with his instep slightly to the right and below the middle of the ball, it curls around the opposition's defenders but bends back before the opposition keeper can come out and claim the ball, putting it into what is known as the corridor of uncertainty between the opposition's back line and the goalkeeper, and Raheem Sterling attacks the ball at the back post, heading the ball back across goal into the far corner. And for our third and final example, we are going to be looking at a curling technique which is certainly harder to master, but may be even more effective if performed correctly. And this technique is called the Trivela, which essentially is just curling the ball as De Bruyne did in the previous example, but rather than curling the ball with the instep of your foot, the inside of your metatarsal, you instead use the outside of your boot, allowing you to perform the same curling pass from both sides, both whilst using your stronger foot. Here in this example, we see that the right-footed João Cancelo has just received the ball on the left side, and as you can see, Manchester City striker is making a run in behind the centre-back, but in order to achieve a curling pass, bending around the defender, Cancelo would have to use the inside of his weaker left foot. However, because he has mastered the trivela, he can use his stronger right foot just the outside of the boot, hitting the ball in the same area just below the centre to the left, and achieve that curling pass to take the ball into the striker's path. So what's your favourite type of curling cross? Let us know in the comment section below, give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and remember to click the bell when you subscribe so you do get notified when our videos come out.